morning and welcome to Sunrise Extra on a Friday. Hello. Did we surprise you, Rodney? Did we surprise you this morning?
Well, I was looking for us on my phone, and then I heard your voice pop up. Sir.
It's time.
Why look for us on your phone? We're right here in person, Rod.
Right there.
Hello. A Friday edition of Sunrise. My mouth has already entered the weekend.
Sunrise Extra.
Yeah, thank you. My mouth and mind have
extra.
already entered the weekend, but we will press forward with a 20 minutes of what we think will be fun talk. Nina has the morning off, so Rod, Brenda, and I are tackling holiday movies. Oh, you're jealous of Nina and her days off, are you?
Yes. Or holiday programs, period, right? Holiday specials.
Yeah, that's right, Rod. Yeah. We can talk holiday movies, holiday specials. I don't want to give away all the good ones right now, but yes, if you're talking a holiday special, the first one that comes to my mind would be the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
That skimpy little tree. Yeah.
Yes. That's the true meaning of Christmas, Charlie Brown. Thank you, Linus. But we really want to hear from our viewers, so
Chime in.
Wow.
We all feel like that at the end of the week.
Chime in.
I get that.
Join us, won't you? Sunrise Extra topic again. Favorite holiday movies or specials. You can jump on the YouTube stream. You can check out the Facebook stream, or you can text us responses. Right there is the number 503-226-5088.
I'm not a huge movie buff, but one of my favorites, the old black and white Jimmy Stewart, It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, yeah.
That is
That
one of my
was
favorites.
one that was always on TV. You know, back in the day, I'd catch different snippets of that. And then my all-time favorite, The Grinch. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
The cartoon?
The cartoon, absolutely, the original. Nothing but the original.
Who did the voiceover for that? Because that is really the
Boris
key.
Karloff.
Thank you. I knew it was Boris, and I could not remember Karloff. That's like the key to that cartoon, right? That was like a terrific voiceover by Mr. Boris.
I mean, it's so bad for me, literally, that we were talking about getting our Christmas tree this weekend and putting it up, and Jeff said, do you want to have, the Grinch on in the background? I'm like, no, we can have one of those other cartoons, but I have to sit down and watch the Grinch every year. I'm serious about my Grinch.
This is not really Brenda's favorite topic necessarily, because you're not the movie buff on the panel.
No.
But clearly you like the special more than most if you have to sit down and can't step away from it every year. So is there a favorite moment, like, I can't wait until this happens?
Good question.
It's all of it. I just think it's my childhood.
Okay.
For those other boomers out there, I mean, literally back in the day, I think I started watching it when I was 4.
Yeah, I have.
And, it came on once a year, and if you missed it, Engineer Sean is over here saluting me as a boomer.
Yep.
But if you missed it, you missed it.
Yeah.
Like, it was appointment viewing in the holidays. And Peanuts and all those other little claymation things. Frosty.
Rudolph.
Yes.
Yes.
I was going to say one of the first movies that I actually purchased back in the day when you could start purchasing DVDs for the first time. I purchased Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer because of what you said. If you weren't home that night that it was on, you just missed it. Right. I love the big abominable snowman. I love all that stuff in that movie.
Put one foot in front of... I
remember, like 7, 8 years old, I was a TV guide reader, pardon me. And like literally, like I'm the 8-year-old sitting in the basement. I should have been out playing some sports maybe or interacting with other children, but I was reading the TV guide. And I'm like making notes of like when all these holiday specials are coming on that week. And Mom, we got to be here Saturday at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it was a
Christmas special with Charlie Brown, like all those things that, like you guys said, appointment viewing. There was only one way to do it. You had to be there live because otherwise you missed it, right?
And you had to get up and turn the channel. If you couldn't sit on the couch and turn the channel. If you wanted to see a different special on a different network, you had to get up off your arse and walk to the TV.
And hopefully it wasn't on the UHF, because then otherwise you're kind of spinning the dial there to go, am I at the right spot? Exactly. Oh, it's fuzzy. We have viewers chiming in this morning. Yeah. Sheila Speck, one of my favorites. What's up, Sheila? She names 3 favorite Christmas movies, and they are in this order. Christmas Story. Yes, I would call that a classic. You'll shoot your eye out, Sheila. It's a Wonderful Life, already mentioned by Brenda, an absolute classic. And then she mentions one that is controversial, but I'm on board with this idea.
Yeah.
Die Hard.
I am too. I think that's a yes.
It's a Christmas movie. It's great.
I love the movie, but I don't know, and I think I don't put it in the Christmas movie category. I realize it came out during Christmas. I realize he's there for the holiday party.
Well, what makes a Christmas movie? And I think the fact that there are a lot of Christmas jingles and tunes sprinkled throughout Die Hard from start to end. And if you're carried by sort of a Christmas soundtrack, by golly, you're a Christmas movie in my book.
We get to make the rules. I'm going to go with that.
I mean, when he takes the gun and blows up the bad guy.
Oh, that's Christmas.
'Tis this season is playing in the background. I've convinced my boys who said that I was crazy a few years ago when I told them that it was a Christmas movie, but they love it so much, and they know if they get on board with this idea, we can watch it every year together around this time. So now my boys are like, hey, let's watch Die Hard, Dad. It's Christmas time. So it's a Christmas movie in our
You
house.
have corrupted Chase and Caleb. Willie Huey says, I love the California Raisins Christmas special. I don't even remember that.
I don't remember it either.
He said it's impossible to find now, but he can still sing the songs from it. That's
I didn't find it
hilarious.
then.
Huh.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen it.
What the heck?
Okay. Do you see what Angela said, Drew? She says, Drew, we had colored highlighters. We would look at the TV guide each Saturday and, sit it down on my dad's footstool and then go through what they wanted to watch. Yeah.
Oh, the highlighter.
Yeah,
I would go with the
highlighters.
pen and maybe circle, but I never took it so far as to break out the highlighter when going through the TV guide. But hey, I'm down with that idea for sure.
Oh, this is another one. Elizabeth says White Christmas and the original Miracle on 34th Street. I love that one too.
I like the remake
That-
better
right,
with
isn't
Elizabeth
that-
Perkins. I love the remake better.
Isn't that another Jimmy Stewart movie, Miracle on 34th
No,
Street?
dear.
No.
Who's in that?
Who was the gentleman that starred in the original one?
Say it louder, Sean.
Natalie Wood.
Natalie Wood. Were you confusing Jimmy Stewart with Natalie Wood, Brenda?
No. Who's the male lead?
I can picture his face, but I can't think of his name.
Okay.
So
Somebody will tell
it's
us.
weird. That movie, I remember my older sister, who's 4 years older than me, always saying that was her favorite holiday movie, Miracle on 34th Street.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a moment of it.
It's number 2 on my list. I love it. It's
Behind?
I watch it, but I like the remake better, as I mentioned. That is with Elizabeth Perkins, and I can't think of the gentleman that plays.
That's interesting because most remakes aren't as good.
So remind me what's number 1 on your list, Rod?
Chevy Chase, Christmas Vacation,
Okay.
National Lampoon. Love that movie. Yeah.
There's a lot of good Christmas comedies, but I think I would put that one at the top 2. And if you're talking about like just the vacation movies in general, I'd go the original, and then Christmas, and then European, and then Las Vegas.
There's a big gap for me between Christmas to the European.
Absolutely right. I'm with you on that too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Brenda. We're starting to geek out now.
No, that's okay. Producer Cassie was just talking in my ear, and she said Miracle on 34th Street stars John Payne, Natalie Wood, Maureen O'Hara.
Huh.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, Maureen
classics.
O'Hara. She was a wonderful actress back in the day.
Hey, Jake Moe is on board with you, Rod. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is the favorite of Jake Moe.
Yeah, it's funny stuff. It's funny stuff. What about Michael Garrison? Says he wants to see the new Santa movie, Fat Man with Bruce Willis. I think I saw a preview for this, actually.
I saw like an ad in a magazine for this.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's about. Do you, Rod?
It's about a fat man that Bruce Willis is in the movie. That's all I know.
Oh my gosh, Renee Robertson, Santa Claus is coming to town, another fave.
Oh, yeah.
With Kris Kringle and the mean mayor, the Burgermeister Meisterburger, that took away the kids' toys.
That's funny. Oh my
That
goodness.
is, oh my gosh.
My favorite would be, even when I was a little kid, I did love as well, Brenda, It's a Wonderful Life. At one point, they decided to colorize it, right?
Yeah.
Now in Technicolor.
Yeah.
Not the same.
No,
Not as good.
Totally agree.
And I think they've basically done away with that because NBC actually shows It's a Wonderful Life on TV still every year.
Yeah,
and I think they do it on Christmas Eve or Christmas night. And they show, for a moment, they were showing the colored version. And I think so many people complained that they said, no, please remove the color.
Right.
We want the black and white.
Eric Smith says Bad Mom Christmas is a must-watch. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Rodney, where'd you go?
Oh, I had to grab my
going to go see the movie?
glasses.
Was
I
it
can't
something
see
I
my-
said?
No, I can't see my phone, dear. I had to get my glasses.
Same. I've like taken mine on and off all the
right.
time.
Yeah.
All right, what do we have
Bad
here? I've gotta
Mom
go
Christmas.
back.
It sounds funny. The title alone sounds funny.
Oh, Home Alone, we haven't mentioned. Jared Leo Cali, Home Alone, Christmas Vacation, Elf. Elf was on last night. I watched that as I was falling to bed, to sleep, rather. It's a Wonderful Life,
Will
to Santa
Ferrell.
Claus.
You gotta love Will. He makes me
Yeah.
giggle. I feel like, Drew, you're kind of my Will Ferrell. You make me giggle the same way.
I would say that his performance in Elf is his best performance in any movie he's done. And there are a few really good Will Ferrell movies, but I think like when you watch The Elf still, or Elf, it's awesome. The way he pulled that character off is absolutely fantastic.
I love when he's running through that door at the department store, you know, and he's,
Yep. All of it, yeah. the goofy outfit, chomping down on that food in the kitchen, throwing the snowballs.
The world's best cup of coffee. You remember that? You did it! The world's best cup of
You know what,
coffee.
I think that is a specifically guy thing.
You think so?
No, what I'm going to say is that you guys, all the men I know, can quote movie lines, zillions of movie lines from decades past, and you never forget them. I can never remember them. All the guys I know can do that.
Really? Well, we also quote Shakespeare, but we just never get around to it, so we stick with movies.
Brenda, from what movie is this? And I'm only going to change one word when delivering this line. Hey, Brenda, I never asked you to stop being a woman. I'm asking you, please, please, don't ask me to stop being a man.
That's Rocky.
It's not a Christmas movie, is it?
He was talking to Talia Shire.
Yeah, Adrian. I removed Adrian and put in Brenda, but that is one of my favorite lines from Rocky 2.
It is a holiday movie, though, because Rocky 1 was over Thanksgiving. Remember, Drew?
Yes.
So it is a holiday movie.
When did Rocky 1 come out? What year?
1976.
Yep, I remember
Best
seeing
Picture
that
winner
with
that year.
one of my little friends, and we were like, we must have been, you said 76?
Yep.
Like in junior high school.
Yep.
And I remember when he was like in that room, was it her apartment? And he had his hands up on that little bar and he had those bulging muscles. Our 12-year-old hearts were all aflutter.
Boy.
Prepared to be, I don't know, embarrassed for me, but I'll tell you right now, the Rockies, the first 5, 76, 79, 82, 85, and 90.
Changed your life. What was it about that? That you can,
Philadelphia.
You're a fanboy
it's
about
Philadelphia, right?
It really is it the city?
But you know what? I remember being in the theater for Rocky 2. And my dad, now I don't know how deep I want to go with this story.
Oh, go deep. It's Sunrise Extra.
My dad, who I have very few memories of and with, but he was there and we were in the theater and all I remember is him like walking me out of the theater like in his arms and so he's walking out of the theater, my head is still facing the screen and the people are going nuts in the theater and this was Rocky 2, I know it for a fact, which would have been 1979, which would have made me 5.
Wow.
But I have a very vivid memory of that 5-year-old moment of him like walking me out of the theater, like holding me, and I'm looking back at the screen still, and I don't know if we walked out before the credits started rolling, maybe like they were jumping up in the ring, and Rocky beat Apollo Creed, and my dad was like, we're going to the car, because that's the kind of BS move he would do. Again, we're going deep. And so, like, I think I was like, where are you going, man?
Oh, no.
I'm only 5, but I know this is not the part of the movie where you walk out.
Do you remember, though, when people got excited at the end of movies and they would clap and they would, hoot and holler?
Yeah.
Now you just get up and walk out.
Oh, yeah. Hey, our producer, our manager, our head honcho.
Who is it, Rod?
Paul Kinney, whatever the title is. He's the big guy. He says NBC will air It's a Wonderful Life Christmas Eve at 8 p.m. right here on KGW this year.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you for looking that up, Paul.
Yeah.
Drew, I enjoyed that story fully. Now, I feel like I know you a little bit better.
I also have like a
I thought it felt a little short, but go ahead.
Don't start with him.
I have a 7-year-old moment too, where we were watching the Black Stallion. We were watching the Black Stallion in the movie
your
theater.
life, Drew Carney.
It was me and my mom and my sister, and that kid showed up on the beach in just his underwear, and I stood up in the movie theater and pointed at the screen and said, "Jockeys!" And my sister was like, "Oh my gosh." Sit his butt down. I digress.
We need to put your mom on Sunrise Extra one day. Karen, yes.
Somebody said
what
Trading
else do we
Places,
have?
Brenda. Who was that? With Eddie Murphy.
With Eddie Murphy.
Dan
Nicole
Aykroyd.
said that.
Yeah,
Trading
that's a good
Places.
one.
That's the best Eddie Murphy movie, I would think. So I would never have thought of that as a Christmas movie, but you're right. Totally centered around the Christmas holiday.
So that's another, because it's that time. I don't look at that as a Christmas movie, but it has him dressing up as Santa Claus on the buffet, stucking the salmon in his Santa jacket and all that. Yeah.
Jennifer Taft says, my class last year, so this is like 4-year-olds preschool, freaked out that Donald Trump was in Home Alone. Just like,
was he really the original?
No, wait a minute. I think he was in. I think Home Alone Part 2.
But in one of those, he makes a little cameo, huh?
Can you clarify which viewer was it?
Jennifer Taft.
Jennifer Taft, can you clarify whether it was Home Alone or Home Alone 2? I thought it was the sequel. Not anywhere near as good as the first one.
I saw some movie the last couple weeks, and he had a brief cameo in it, back in the day when he was, and I can't think what the movie was, but yeah. All right.
And Jared, you mentioned Jarrett Calley earlier, Rod. You know that's the Jared from our .com team. I don't know if you said it so quickly.
That is Jared, isn't it?
Yes. So Jared is confirming it was Home Alone 2.
That is Jared, yeah.
Nicole says Grumpy Old Men. Did you mention that?
We have not mentioned it.
And again, what's Christmas? I'm trying to think. I love those movies, the both of them. They did too, with Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau. Can't think of what's Christmassy about that. But I love the movies. Love the movies.
Coat of Many Colors, Dolly Parton movie. I love Dolly Parton.
She just keeps going and going and going.
Yes, she does. I really do like her.
She's only in her 70s, by the way. I looked that up the other day.
Really?
My wife and I are looking at her, and she looks like $1 million, right? We're like, how old is she? And I was surprised, but she's not even close to, I want to say she's like 74.
Huh.
She's a generation younger than her good friend that we lost this past year, Kenny Rogers, who passed away, and Kenny was 80-something.
Okay, Kenny Rogers, bad plastic surgery. Dolly Parton, good plastic surgery. I mean, she's kind of
Well, God gave her most of that. I don't think she needed much.
I'm not talking about her boobs. I'm talking about everything else.
Okay.
I've not really dissected Dolly's body yet recently to figure out which is the real, which is the not. But anyways.
Okay, wait, Joshua, I can't speak. Madrid? I've got your disease now. Joshua Madrid, did you guys read his?
No.
It's long. So he's got a whole long list, which I like. So he says, I love Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas. Don't know it. Polar Express, Tom Hanks, you gotta love that one. Nightmare Before Christmas, another good one. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
The Kid in Me will always love these films.
Our producer, who is fairly new to the Sunrise Show, Cassie Taylor, said that her favorite is also Polar Express.
Oh.
One movie that hasn't been mentioned, what about, and I love it, I thought it was well written, I thought it was a great original story, Disney's Santa Claus with
Tim Allen?
Tim Allen. They did a couple, but I really think the first one, it was just a great original story. Really enjoy that. Nobody's mentioned that.
I did not like it, but I never really think about that one as one of my all-time favorites or my go-to Christmas movies. But you're right, the first one...
It's a nice movie.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I liked it better. I think I saw that around the same time I saw another movie that was mentioned by a viewer here, and I should scroll back to get the viewer's name because that's an important part of the Sunrise Extra show. But this viewer said Christmas with the Cranks.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Which I did not care for.
It had some funny moments in it. I mean,
Go ahead.
Francisco says Bad Santa.
Thought it was
with
great.
what's his face, the bad boy.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yep.
Yeah.
And John Ritter. I think that was after John Ritter had passed, the movie came out. So it was like one of his final jobs in Hollywood. And John Ritter is really awesome in that movie.
And then our producer Cassie says, I also enjoy Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. I just love the song.
I love the song too, yeah.
I have a question for our viewers.
Yes.
And I mentioned this, Brenda, to you and Nene the other day. We saw a movie during the Thanksgiving holiday. We were trying to find a new holiday movie we could watch. So my wife found online what appeared to be a well-rated movie. It's called Better Watch Out.
Better watch out.
So have any of our viewers seen this movie? It's about 3 years old. Came out, like I said, 3 years ago. Better watch out. We sat down to watch this without any expectation. All we knew it was a Christmas horror movie.
Oh,
wow.
A thriller.
All right. Hence the title.
It's freaking disturbing.
Disturbing.
I felt actually like I was, and I've thought this many times over 13 years, I thought I was the worst parent in the world while continuing to watch this. We hit the pause button, and I said to Mia, what are we doing? should we let this continue? And the boys are like, yes, please, yes, let's keep going. And I was like, oh, God. And we went through with it and kept watching it. If you watch it, you'll think to yourself, how did Drew let his 13-year-old boys watch this movie?
What's the worst part? Just give me a quick line. What was the worst thing that happened on screen?
Well, the worst thing that happened is going to blow the movie. So I don't think I can say that.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm not going to watch it.
Well, I'm not going to watch it either.
Everybody who doesn't want to hear this spoiler.
It's a thriller, and sometimes those scary movies involved murder, right? Well, I'll say there's plenty of that in this movie for sure.
Don't tell me Santa gets murdered in this movie.
I'm not going to say anything more.
Oh, he does.
That would be disturbing if that happens.
No.
Oh,
Does anyone else chime in if you have seen the movie? Better watch out. And what would you say, good or bad?
Okay. Hey, what about going way back to Jolene? White Christmas. Going way back.
Yeah.
Definitely, I think if you were making a classic list of Christmas movies, that would be on there.
Isn't that a Bing Crosby song?
Bing Crosby. And there's another old one called Holiday Inn, I believe is the name of another movie that's from that same time frame. that is set in an inn out in New England. That's really a lovely movie too, with Danny Kaye's in that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, the Santa 1, 2, and 3. Tyrell Damewood on board with your suggestion, Rod. I think he's talking about the Santa Claus. He says he's watching 1, 2, and 3, all the movies tonight.
Oh,
all those Santa Claus movies, yeah.
Movie-thon, yeah.
You know, real quick, back to Grandma got run over by a reindeer. I remember back in the day, and I am not going to say what year. I'm not going to say how far back in the day or how close to current day, but we changed the words to that particular song, and we inserted one of our news directors' names in there and said, so-and-so got run over by a
reindeer?
news car.
Really? Oh,
somebody changed the entire lyric. It kind of made me giggle.
I'm glad that Rod and I, since coming on board Channel 8 here, have cleaned up things, and we no longer behave like that in our newsroom.
If people only knew.
A couple of suggestions. You're talking about movies, Rod, that you know you like, but you never really think of as a Christmas movie. I'd say the first one of these is, I'm debating on the second.
Okay.
Daniel Bishop, who often chimes in. Love you, Daniel. Gremlins is his first suggestion.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Gremlins is a Christmas movie. I mean, it's centered completely around the holiday.
Oh, yeah, and Lethal Weapon, I see.
And Lethal Weapon was his second. I'm thinking, really? But I can now...
Danny Glover's house has a Christmas tree in it.
And isn't there a scene where there's like a chase scene between Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and the bad guys where they're kind of running through a Christmas tree lot? I feel like I can kind of picture that.
And then Mel Gibson is playing a narc cop, and he arrests these guys at a Christmas tree lot. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm down.
I just saw another one. Oh, boy, I lost it.
Connie says Kurt Russell, The Christmas Chronicles.
Oh, I haven't seen that one, but I like Kurt Russell.
The Bishop Wife. Remake was Whitney Houston.
Oh.
The Bishop's Wife, which has, especially when Whitney Houston did the remake, and she sings gospel music. Whitney Houston is singing in the movie. What more do you need to know?
Really, that's it.
We'll end with this. Howard Wright apologizing for being late. You're excused. He says, did anyone mention Scrooged with Bill Murray? They did not. So you got that comment in. You added to the program. Better late than never. And we are out of time. Sunrise Extra is
Happy
through.
Friday.
Yeah, we'll see you.
We're out of time?
Yeah, Rod.
Bye.
Do I gotta?